Here are some basic hip stretches for men that can help with improving your hip flexibility, reducing stiffness or pain in your lower back, and helping to reduce strain on your knees and your ankles as well. This is going to help with immediately feeling better. You'll feel a release of tension in your back and your knees right when this is finished. It's also going to help over time, if you can do this consistently, to reduce your risk of injury and just feel better throughout the day. So follow along, do your best. I'm going to show you proper technique for 4 of my favorite hip-focused postures, and then make sure to do them consistently on your own. Let's get into it. First posture is a low lunge, and this is basic but incredibly important, incredibly effective. This is something that I probably do every day, and it makes a huge difference in how your back feels. So start with your right leg forward and take a big step back with your left foot, and then slowly release your left knee to the ground. Now, there's a couple different options here for modifications. If you have yoga blocks and you use them, you can place them on either side of your front foot and give yourself a little bit of support. So you can focus on the hips. And if you have strain on the knee just resting on the ground, if it's just uncomfortable to rest there, then you're actually going to want to grab a knee pad and then put the knee pad underneath that knee, and that's just going to make this a lot more relaxed. So a couple options for props here. You don't need these. If you want to use this without the knee pad or without the blocks, that's totally fine. So the way to do a lunge properly for hip flexibility, you want to keep your abs tight. Okay, so you don't want your lower back arching out behind you and your butt poking out behind you like this, because that's going to shorten your hip flexors. You want to lengthen your lower back and keep your abs tight. That will keep your hip flexors in a lengthened position. And then from here, with your abs tight, leaning forward into that lunge position. Now, you also want to be active through your back hip. So squeeze your left glutes if you can. If you can't, it takes some time to develop that awareness. You might just not have it yet. Over time, you'll get it. And then we're leading with the hips here, keeping your abs engaged so your lower back is nice and long. You don't want to do this sort of arching through the chest and then letting your back come out behind you, because this is shortening the hip flexors. You're not getting that stretch. So keep your abs tight, keep your left glute engaged, and then lean forward into your lunge. I like using blocks because it allows you to focus on your hips. You don't have to worry as much about other stuff. If you do want to make this a little more challenging, you can bring your arms overhead. And then, again, with the knee pad, that's super helpful, especially if you have sensitive knees. There's really no benefit to having your knees hurt when you're doing a lunge, so the knee pad is really helpful. And then as we're doing this, you're going to breathe slowly in and out of your nose. And I would hold this for at least 60 seconds, at least 45 seconds, 60 seconds, 75, 90 seconds, even better. Let's go into the other side. So left leg is forward now, right leg is back. Back toes are tucked. You want to stay active through your right glute. Again, remember to keep your abs tight, so don't let your lower back arch, but keep your lower back reaching, kind of tailbone reaching down is a good cue, and then thinking straight through your lower back, abs tight, and then from here leaning into your lunge position. So this is a low lunge. There's a lot of different variations of lunges in general and also in yoga. You've got a low lunge, you've got a runner's lunge, you've got a high lunge, but your most basic is the low lunge. And this is something that you can easily do on a daily basis. Check back in with the breathing. So as you're doing stretches in general, you really want to make sure you're slowing down your breathing. When you can slow down your breathing and breathe in and out of your nose, that sends a signal to your body to relax. It says it's okay, you can relax, and it releases tension from the muscles. So incorporating that slow, mindful breathing as you're doing stretches is going to help with increasing your flexibility. Keep that slow, controlled breathing as you're holding this, and it also helps to add strength. So that's why I said make sure that you're squeezing your right glute, you're making sure that your abs are working and engaged, kind of like you're bracing for a punch. So if someone were to aim a fist at you to the stomach, that's what you want to feel. You want to feel that core engaging. And then I'm also squeezing my thighs. That's also helping with making this more than a passive stretch, but turning it into active mobility. And that's what creates lasting change. All right, go ahead and release. And then from here, we're going to go onto our back into a reclined figure 4. So this is a beginner's variation of a pose called pigeon. Most people don't have the flexibility to do pigeon if they're new, so the reclined figure 4 is a great modification instead. So lying down on your back, you're going to bring your left knee above your left hip, and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and then flex your right toes back toward your shin so this leg stays active. And then thread your hands, right hand between your legs, left arm around the outside, grab the back of your left thigh, and then very lightly pull your left thigh in toward your body while externally rotating your right hip. So you're turning your right knee to face to the outside while flexing the toes back toward the shin to protect the knee, and you're going to feel this stretching in your outer right hip. So this is called a reclined figure 4 or reclined pigeon. And this is helping with your external hip rotator. So these are some pretty big muscles that connect your hips, your hips to your low back. This is one of my go-to stretches for relieving back pain if your hips are really tight or if you're just feeling stiff through your back. Maybe you've been sitting a while or traveling a lot, and that's when that stiffness comes up. So the more that you can increase your hip flexibility, the better your back is going to feel on a day-to-day basis. If you'd like to, you can relax your head on the ground. If you find that you can't rest your head on the ground comfortably, then you can put a pillow or you can put a block underneath your head, and that way you can actually relax your head down as you're holding this stretch. You want to hold this for at least 45 seconds. 60 seconds is better. And you can hold it for 90 seconds, 120 seconds, even 3 minutes, as long as there's no pain through the knee. And this is a really good one for back stiffness, knee stiffness, and overall hip flexibility. All right, let's switch sides. So now you're going to go left ankle over your right thigh. Thread your hands around your right leg. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Your left knee is going to point out to the left. Flex your left toes back toward the shin. That's going to help to protect the knee and make this into a more active stretch. If possible, relax your head on the ground as you're holding this. If you can't relax your head down, that's where you can put a block underneath your head. That's probably a posture-related issue. So a lot of people just have shoulder and posture, lack of flexibility, posture-related. That makes it difficult for your head to relax on the ground. You'll probably end up looking backwards. So put a block underneath your head, and that's a good modification. It's helpful to use props and modifications because that allows your body to relax. If you can't relax and you're doing these stretches, it's not going to be as effective. When you can't relax, your body holds on to tension in the muscles, and that prevents the increases in flexibility from happening. So use props liberally. Again, 60 seconds here, maybe 90 seconds, and even upwards of 120 or 180 seconds. Just make sure that you're not feeling pain in the knee. Discomfort in general is okay, but it shouldn't cross the line into a stabbing or shooting sensation. That would be considered pain. By the way, this stretch is also very good if you have sciatic pain. This is something that you should do on a daily basis if you have sciatic pain. All right, go ahead and release. All right, quick break here, guys. If you're looking for a free 7-day program to teach you the yoga postures, learn how to do it in a way that makes sense for a guy, and build strength at the same time, try out my free 7-day Beginner's Yoga for Men Challenge. Link in the description below. Sign up when it's finished. From here, we're going to go up into a pyramid stretch. So this is a really good one for hamstring flexibility. And we're going to do this in a way that isolates your hamstrings instead of focusing on your back. So right leg is going to be forward, left leg is going to be back, pointed out 45 degrees. I'm going to show you how to do it without a block and then with a block, assuming you don't have a block. So we're going to square your hips toward the front. I want you to bend your right knee and then hinge forward until you feel a stretch through the back of your right thigh. Now, if you look at me from the side here, you'll notice that my back is flat. I'm not rounding my back and collapsing my chest toward my thigh. I'm keeping my back upright, keeping my back straight, and then hinging until I feel the stretch through the back of my right thigh. If you want, you can relax your hands onto your right thigh to help with support here. and try to be active through your right leg. So I'm actually pushing down into my right foot and squeezing my right thigh as I hold this stretch. And that's going to help me get a much better release from my hamstrings as opposed to if I just kind of like hung here passively. Now, if you have blocks, this is where we can place the blocks on either side of the front foot. And you can relax your fingertips there. If you need to bend your knees more to keep your back flat and get that stretch to the hamstrings, then you can do that. You can also stack the blocks. If you're using cork blocks, you can actually stack the blocks up like this, and this allows you to really keep your back flat, and you can focus on the hamstrings instead of worrying about what your back looks like. All right, in the interest of time, let's go ahead and switch sides. So about 60 seconds there, and again, 60 seconds is a good amount to aim for. You can also go up to 190 or 190 seconds, 120 seconds, and so on. So left leg forward, right leg back, pointed out 45 degrees. Start by squaring your hips toward the front. If you want to have stacked blocks, you can do that if you're less flexible. If you don't have any blocks, the hands are just going to go on top of the thigh. But make sure that you're keeping your chest lengthened. So I want you to think keeping a long line from the front of your body from the waist up through your chest. And you're not shortening that line and curving, rounding down. Keep long through the front of the body. You're going to breathe in and out of your nose. And as you exhale, that's when you start to go deeper into the stretch. In and out of the nose. And it even helps to visualize getting longer from the back of your knee all the way to your lower back. So if you can think about reaching your tailbone toward the back, so this little tilt of your spine to shorten your lower back and lengthen the hamstrings, that's another good modification to keep in mind here. And if you don't know what you look like, it's a really good idea to record yourself or to look in the mirror while you're doing it. And that way you can make sure that you're doing the pose in a way that not only helps you get the most flexibility, but also protects you from getting injured over time. If you do the wrong technique for long enough, you'll end up with some sort of pain that could lead into injury. So technique, really important. All right, and then the last stretch we're going to show here is a deep squat. You're just going to modify this however you need to. If you have that knee pad, this is another good modification here. Or get something so that your heels can come off the ground a little bit. Turn your toes out a little bit. Keep your chest upright. Do the best you can. And we're going to sit down into a squat with your elbows inside your knees. So I can get pretty deep into this because I've practiced this a lot. But if you're new to this, then you might be maybe you'll be a little bit higher. Maybe you'll be more up here like this, and you can't quite get your hips closer to your heels. That's okay. We all just want to find whatever depth stretches the inner thighs and helps us feel like we're working on our flexibility, but doesn't overwhelm you. So you want to find a manageable depth where your discomfort level is maybe lower. If you're looking at a 1 to 10 scale, try to find somewhere on the 4 or 5 scale. If you're getting up into the 7s and the 8s in terms of intensity, it's probably too much for just increasing flexibility. So find something manageable. Make sure you're breathing in and out of your nose. And you're using your elbows to press your knees open to work on that groin mobility. Try to keep your chest upright as you're doing this. So make sure that you're not rounding down. And if you want to, another modification that you can do is you can actually get against a wall and you can squat against the wall like this. And this is going to make it a little bit easier. Might increase strain on the knees, but just depending on finding that depth that works for you, that doesn't cause pain, then figure out a way that you can do this that feels good, isn't too intense. And I would hold this for at least 45 seconds. You can go upwards of 60 and even 90 seconds. Hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Be sure to subscribe. We have more of these tutorials and more workouts every Tuesday. So every Tuesday we put out a new video. Subscribe and you'll be the first to know when it goes live. Like the video if you found it helpful. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have some feedback, maybe a recommended topic, or if you have a question. So check that out. Please help out with the comments, with the likes. And then if you want to get started on another tutorial, I've got one I recorded for your shoulders. You can click over here above my right shoulder to check out that basic yoga stretch tutorial right now.